so I'm fine with Michael. Thank you, Governor, for hosting us and having us joining this initiative, which is very important. Actually, I became Vice Governor a year ago, almost a year ago, and even 2 days before becoming that, I went to Brussels to a conference on regional cluster cooperation, and someone from the Interreg 5C secretary said, well, you should consider joining Vanguard. So this was something I had on my mind from the first day I started on 29th of April. And we're very happy to join, because we are a region, we think, that can learn from Vanguard, but also can contribute from that to Vanguard. Just to position it, Gelderland and Overijssel, together 3.4 million people. I think that we are slightly more coherent in culture than the South, and that there is a culture of neighborship, naberschap we call it in Dutch, let's say of working together, basically an agricultural culture of sharing equipment when you need it, harvesting together. And peculiar also, we are a region, the two provinces, with three main religious streams, so it's also across religions. So there's a culture that we have gained, and so there's this culture of cooperation, which means that we want to learn, and we also want to contribute to all this. As I said in my presentation, let's say 40 years ago, we were one of the basket cases of the European economy, with a textile industry in Shutters in Twente, a clothing industry and a leather industry in Shutters in Nijmegen, a fiber industry that was losing pace against Asia. And if we look at the history of European funds, Afro especially, we were an Objective 2 region, industrial transformation. And I think this region has done a transformation, although we think that our unemployment level of around 6.5% is unacceptably high. I think many regions in Europe would be jealous of such a figure, but nevertheless, we have achieved a transition, but we want to go further in transition. First, because we are in a kind of jobless growth situation, and we feel that manufacturing is the best vehicle to create, let's say, growth with jobs, and not growth without jobs. And the second is that, well, we believe in industrial renaissance because of shorter lead times, more integration of manufacturing, a more circular approach to manufacturing where materials are reused, a kind of symbiosis model. So we think that nearness is an important factor, neighborship or naberschap in production. We bring a lot of experience. As I said, we are used to ERDF funding for more than 40 years. The region is very active in Interreg, together with Southern Netherlands, but we have that very active fund management. We have already a small specialization strategy without knowing it that goes back to around 2003, 2005. We have a food cluster, Food Valley, which we have funded over 10 years. We have a Health Valley that we have supported over almost 10 years. There's a very active high-tech materials cluster in Twente, which is also already active for 10 years. So we are more in the stage of, well, how do we get them on their own without public funding than to set them up. But for us, circular economy is a new challenge, smart industry is a new challenge. And if you position the region, we are mainly subcontractors. So we supply components to mainly companies in Eindhoven or in Germany. And so we are, I say always, we are this northern west extension of Baden-Württemberg. After us, Scandinavia starts. But we are integrated in that. So Germany is the natural home market, and we need our neighbors from the south basically to assemble the things. So smart industry is a challenge because we are at the end of that line as component suppliers. We also have something major to offer. We have the University of Wageningen in our province, which last year was the best university in agriculture and food in the world. And if there's something we would like to bring, if there's any challenge on manufacturing and food safety, food security, protein replacement, and processes that are related to that, that's something where we can, let's say, offer to lead something. While on the other hand, we are very much interested, especially in the pilots on smart industry and the one on circular economy. What is also important maybe to mention is that we have, by coincidence, we have sold our electricity company, and we have a major fund. So we have some 3 billion euros on the bank, which is very productive. And one of the things we have done in the last 5 years is to develop revolving funds. So we have invested some 160 million euros in funds for SMEs, for scale-ups, for valorization of scientific ideas. So very similar to Will. Basically, we have all the instruments, and since we have that money idle, we are also very active in trying to create leverage effects together with the SV funds and with the European Bank. So also on a national level, we are pushing together with the southern neighbors again. So the southeast is basically different than the west. So together we are pushing it to a paradigm change in also financing innovation, because we have to get a long-term perspective again in the financial and banking community. So, well, to summarize, well, we are here to learn, we are here to give. As I said, the culture of our region is to apply, to share, to work together, this neighborship concept. So, well, we hope we can bring that as well and get it as well from being in Vanguard. Just last point is that we are very selective in the networks we are in, because we are relatively small, 3 million people together. So Vanguard is one of the major ones, and we are also in the core group of Vanguard 3. So that's the other one. Probably we will leave it to that for this 4 years, because that's already a lot of work for the civil service, and a lot of inspiration as well for them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know each other more closely than I did with Rodney from Wales, but indeed this is also one of these partners of we expect a lot. It's sharing order to be able to multiply together. That's the philosophy of the network. I was preparing the meeting that we will have 2 meetings, an internal kind of organizing thing meeting, in which we will indeed propose